Hello out there, and hey, welcome to part two of the 9-step value scale. And we're going to paint part two. You may notice that part one looks like it's missing up here, but I'll show you at the end of the this particular video what happened. It's a long story, but I had to redo this again. Unfortunately, we're up here in Michigan and it's pretty cold, so I've been under the weather a little bit. So if I sound a little hoarse or you hear me cough a few times, hey, just forgive me. It's I don't think anybody is getting around in this weather without having a little cough or sniffle or something. So I've got something a little bit also. I'm feeling a little better, but we're going to get through this video. This one's going to be a little bit different. Each video we're going to try to increase knowledge of oil painting and try to simplify it as much as possible. If you'll notice, probably on my palette, I've gave it a good coating of a middle tone gray acrylic, black and white, to get that glare off of that metal. I've noticed in my previous videos I've been having a problem with glare. Now we get some of it here, but this is kind of a matte, so it's not going to be as much of a glare. But this is something you might want to do to just maybe see your values a lot better than looking at them maybe on metal. And especially for photographic purposes, we're getting this glare off of here, hopefully. Now what we're going to do up here this time is, the last time we painted straight on a white canvas. So this time I'm going to do a mid-tone wash. Now the purpose of that is to get rid of all the white on the canvas. That is one of the main things you want to do. You can't really judge values that well when you're painting against a white canvas. So we're going to more or less blank out that white canvas, but we're going to use acrylic. It dries pretty fast, and you can always paint oils over acrylic, but you can't do vice versa. The main reason is acrylics dry fast and oils take a while, and the drying, while the acrylic, if it was on top, the acrylic would dry faster and the oil would take some time and it would crack. So always remember, you paint oils on top of acrylic. So what we're going to get right started, I've got a little, how should we say, a dinner plate here. It's plastic. That's what I use for my acrylics. You can probably see I've got a mid-tone gray on there already. This is what I painted the palette with. And I've got some water here. This is my water. I'm using a regular synthetic paintbrush. I'm going to dip it in the water right now. And I'm going to, this is what I use my acrylic black. I'm going to pour a little bit of this black right on here. You can see that. Don't need a whole lot. Okay, that's about enough. You can see about how much I got here. Now I'm going to use some white acrylic paint, regular white acrylic. And we're going to put some acrylic down here. We'll do that. Now I've got my brush in the water, getting it good and wet. Now I'll take my knife, palette knife, and we're going to see if we can mix us a nice mid-tone gray here. Okay, we'll get a little bit lighter than that. Now I'm going to clean off my palette knife here. Rinse it off in the water. Now I'm taking my brush and I'm gonna try to get a wash. Has to be real thin, almost like watercolor. So we want a lot of water. There we go. Gotta be careful, it'll get real runny. So let's see. Oh, got some on the palette here. Wipe that off a little bit. Now let's see what we have. A little bit runny. Looks like a good consistency though. I'm going to paint right over this. We want to still be able to see the drawing underneath. That's the main thing. You don't want to cover the drawing up. I'm going to paint right over this. Nice. Try to get a nice even tone across here. This is just our wash. We're blanking out the white of the canvas. Okay, that's decent. Try to get a little bit more even here. Now I'm going to sit this down. I can put my brush in the container, set that down, and while that's drying, I'll wipe this off, the palette off a little bit. Now, while that wash is drying, this is a new thing we're going to do. We're going to do another, get our paint on here. It's easier to make all the adjustments and everything on the palette and then transfer it to your drawing. So what we're going to do here now, we'll go about right here. We're going to put on some black. And over here, we're going to put some white in the right corner again, just like we did before. Now the following is what is known as a value string. This is something, first we're gonna mix our middle tone, then we're gonna do a value string. A value string, you'll really be able to appreciate it when we get into color. It will give you so many variations and shades and tints of a color, different values. First we're gonna make our mid-tone. As we did before, we're going to make a mid-tone about right here. Take some white. Let's see what we get. Now, this mid-tone gray should almost be right in line as far as the value is concerned with my palette. That's when you know you're on the right track. Now, clean off my palette nice again. Now, if you remember last time, we did those 9 steps. You don't necessarily have to do that every time you paint. This is known as a value string. You'll really be able to appreciate this when we, like I said before, when we get into color. So what we're going to do is we're going to manipulate some of the black over this way somewhat. Take some of this, and we're going to manipulate that into the black from this direction. Leave some of that black, pure black, and lightly lighten up the pressure as we get to the middle tone. Do the same with the white. Take some of the white, bring it into the middle tone, 5, bring it back out. Lighten up the pressure as you get toward the white. Now, if you notice, you can always adjust these. Like right here, I may take a little of this and go into the black just slightly. We don't want to over blend it. Now we've got a value scale. This is known as a value string. When we use color, we're going to do some like this, but you'll see we'll do them vertically. You'll see what I'm talking about when we get into our color sessions. So right now, this can expedite your painting process. Now let's see if our wash is dry. Acrylic doesn't take that long. Do a little finger test here. Oh yeah, see, it's dry already. Some parts of it, let's see here. Yep, it's dry already. Good, that didn't take too long, did it? Okay, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do a graduated background. The first background was one solid tone, a dark tone. This time we're gonna go from, like the sky, we're gonna go